Okay, so here we have our first problem. So we have a 10 kilogram block that's shown here on this ramp that's resting on a smooth incline. If the spring is originally stretched half a meter, determine the total work done by all the forces acting on the block when the horizontal force P is equal to 400 Newton, and this force pushes the block up the plane 2 meters. So we got quite a bit of information given here. So let's write everything that we have. So this mass for this block is 10 kilograms. The force pushing that is 400 newtons. We have the angle that's shown there as 30 degrees in the incline. The stiffness of this spring, as we see, that's 30 Newton per meter. We see that the position at the beginning, we can, you see, originally stretched half a meter, so 0.5 meters. S2, the final position, you can see shown there, it's 2.5 meters, and the change in that it's 2 meters, right? The change, how much it displays. And we are finding here the total work, so U total. So we got out of all of the works that are done by the forces shown here. All right, so let's see. So let's go one by one. Once again, because this is a, we're doing the kinetics, we have to first always draw our free body diagram of this system. So we have a block, right, that's resting on a ramp. So let me do it like this. And let's see all the forces are in this ramp right here. So this is our ramp. This is about 30 degrees, right? So let's see what forces can we see. So we have first the pushing force. So that's acting over here horizontal. This is force P. We have the normal force, of course, acting normal to the floor. So normal force. This is a smooth incline, so there's no friction happening here, right? Because this is smooth, so no friction. We have the force of the spring. So notice the spring is pushing, you know, I guess the spring is being pulled. So if the spring is being pulled, then the spring will want to shrink back. So we're gonna write here then the force of the spring. Right, this is no friction. This is the force of the spring. Spring force acting to pulling back the block. And let's not forget that we also have the weight. So the weight is always going vertically down. So this is mass times gravity, our weight. All right, so this is all the forces that we have. So let's find the work done by the different forces. So let's go one by one. So let's see, work done by force P. So the work done by force P, that's just a constant force. So once again, the force is constant. So because the force is constant, so constant force, our equation that we can use is that the work from 1 to 2, it's equals to F cosine of theta times the change in S. So for this particular problem, we have then that along the ramp, notice once again, since the direction where this box is moving is along the ramp, but this force is trying to push it sideways. So then we have to figure out what is the component of this force that can be acting, you know, that's acting in the direction of the ramp. So we have to break that force into its components. All right, so of course we see right here does the same angle theta. So then we can do here the equation that the work done by the force P, it's equals to 400 times this one on this side. This component will be cosine of theta, 30 degrees, times the however amount it displaced. In this case, it got displaced 2 meters, as we see right here. So then when you plug this in, it should give you about 692.8 joules. Or also, Newton meters is another definition for joules. All right, that is equation for the work done by the force P. Let's do the work of the spring. So work done by the spring. Okay, so notice the force of the spring is also constant, but we can use the equation for the spring, which we already had here as the work done by the spring. It's equals to -1/2 the stiffness of the spring times S2 squared minus S1 squared. So substituting here the values, this one should be -1/2. The stiffness is 30 newtons per meter. That was given right there in the problem. And this is multiplied times the final position, so that's 2.5 meters square minus 0.5 meters square. Okay, once you plug all of these values, we're going to get that the work done by the spring is equals to -90 joules. So notice the work done by the spring is negative, meaning that it's trying to pull it back. It's trying to take off some energy. Remember, work and energy are related, so it's trying to take off some energy in the form of work, while the work done by the P force, it's basically adding, or is going to add into its energy so that it can be adding potential energy into it. We'll see that more forward in the next problems. All right, so we got 2 more to go. So let's see the work done by the weight. So we'll do it this side. So work done by weight. All right, so in this case, we said that the equation for the work done by the weight, it was the negative weight, right? Negative the weight times the change in height, so delta y. So let's see how much it actually moved. So we have here, a ramp. Let me draw it like this. So this side is 2 meters. We know the angle is 30. So using trigonometry, this angle, or this side measures 2 cosine theta. This other side measures 2 sine theta. So if we have the object first at this position, and then it goes into this position, notice that we have to move, because this one is acting vertically. This force is acting only vertically, right? The weight is only acting vertically. We gotta take into consideration the vertical displacement that this block did. So at state 1, it was here. At state 2, it's over here. So that vertical amount is basically that value right there, 2 sine of theta. So then the work done by the weight from state 1 to state 2, it's equals to negative mass times gravity, so that is 10 kilograms times 9.81 meters per second square, times the height, which would be 2 sine of 30 degrees. Sine of 30 is 0.5. So when you multiply everything here, this is equal to, what do we get? This is 900. Or 900, this is a negative 98.1 joules for the work done by the weight. All right, and then we have one more force. We have the work done by the normal force. Remember, every force might be doing some work. So let me go over here. So work by the normal force. And let's see. So notice once again, the normal force is acting perpendicular to the direction of displacement. So we're moving in this direction. The force is acting perpendicular to it. So if you were to do the equation right there, right, this is normal force, work it's equals to force times cosine of theta times the change in S. Since the angle, because they are perpendicular, the angle between them two, it's 90 degrees. So we get then that cosine of 90 degrees is equals to 0. All right, cosine of 90 degrees, it's equals to 0. Cosine of 0, it's 1, but cosine of 90 or cosine of pi over 2, if you're doing radians, it's equals to 0. So because this thing goes away, that's a mathematical way to prove that the work done by the normal force is equals to 0 joules. Meaning that this force, although this force is being applied, is because it is perpendicular and is not causing displacement, right? So not causing displacement, then the work done by it is 0. So let's add up all the work. So the work total right here, if we add up all the values, so the work total, it's equals to the work done by the force P plus the work done by the spring plus the work done by the weight plus the work done by the normal force. When you add up all the values, you'll get a value of 504.7 joules. That is the total work done on the system. And we'll relate it later to the energy, but that's just for this problem. So once again, that's what we find right here. So every force can be doing work, but it just depends if they are causing a displacement in that direction. If the force is perpendicular to the displacement, then that force does not cause a work. All right, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next example.